somewhere, and the trainer runs out there with me, and she says, no, 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 call its name and run the other way. And we did, and the dog ran right to us. And I was like,
it's like a game.
Yeah, it was like a game.
It's like there's a fear factor, because if you go too far, then you'll never get them, which almost happened. But yeah, that's good. All right, guys. So I think people are still coming on. As I was contemplating, you know, what we would share on the Lunch and Learn, and we had some ideas. Can't get past the fact that we have lost one of our team members to cancer.
I'm ready to walk.
We want to dedicate this Lunch and Learn to Mallory McKay, who made a big impact on a lot of people's lives. And I think it's always good to, you know, in the Bible it says better to go to a funeral than to go to a wedding, you know, because there's lessons in the funeral and how somebody could have impacted so many people. And, you know, we all hope that we can have a great attendance and great legacy for when we leave. And so, can't talk. So I thought we would dedicate this to Mallory and talk about why or how was she such a good leader. And because that's what we want to be.
Okay.
And we want to leave it
Okay, no problem.
and make a difference. And so I'll just tell you what my experience with Mallory, and then we could go from there. I just know Mallory was like a bulldog at first. Stacy could agree. She would not accept any like blow off answer, right, Stacy? It was like we could not get her off of us because she just wanted to learn so badly this business. She was all over us, and if I didn't give her the right answer, she'd go to Stacy, she'd go to Paula, she'd go to Joan, whoever, and she would get that answer. And we had lots of conversations, and it was always like she wanted it now, and there was an urgency. But then we saw like this personal growth that happened with her, where she was very comfortable finally, being that light, that inspiration. And after that, then Bella wants to know what's going on. Mallory, one of our team members in Texas, passed away. She had cancer, and she fought a hard fight. She went to Mexico. She got alternative treatment. She was doing all kinds of things to help herself, but she had it like in her back. I think that's where she first found out that it was. And so that's what we're talking about, Bella. Just the legacy and the life, so that we can also benefit from that, because she was such an inspiration. And we're in a Voxer chat where everybody has a story about Mallory and what impact she made on everybody. And so I think it's worth looking at, like, Mallory's legacy, and don't we all want to have that? So I'll turn it over to Stacy for now. And one of the things I shared in the Voxer chat, I know I didn't finish my sentence before, was like, so she always wanted to do what was right and to learn how to do things the right way. And she was always very, like there was an exact way. And in this business, there's not always an exact way. But she's like, I feel, and I was with her at a visit, and we had this museum tour for John F. Kennedy. And in Dallas, she took care of me when I got there in Dallas, and we went on that tour, and we went out to lunch and stuff. And during lunch, she's like, I feel really bad, talking about the shred, because I want to have my coffee. I have coffee. And I'm like, it's okay. You just tell people, you can do it your way. I'm going to do it my way. But she was always just wanting to do the right thing. And that much I know about Mallory, and just her family is super tight, and I just admire that so much. So I'll just turn it over to Stacy.
Thank you, Sharon. And emotions are raw.
Yeah.
Like, we've known this was probably coming in the last couple of weeks. She's been, not doing well, but there's always the hope that somehow she'll pull through. But as sad as we are to let her go, I know she's not sad now. And Sharon is right. Like, she was an intense learner at the beginning. She was just questioning and asking and and just wanting to know all of the answers. And she wanted to know them now, and she wanted to do things the right way and wanted to know exactly what to say. And it was intense coaching her. I spent a lot of time with Mallory, had a chance to spend a lot of time with her in Dallas and in her home, and we just became really good friends and talked a lot about life issues and her desire for personal growth. And what we saw with her in just I think it was about 6 years that she's been a team member with us, the growth was phenomenal. It really was. And I think that's one of the things that's just so sad about all of it, is because we really have lost a great leader within our team as well. Because as you grow and you learn, then you become the teacher and you begin to share that with other people. And I know she was that light to her team. And as I've been talking to her team and just letting them know that she has passed, they're sending me pictures of her and how she's impacted their life. And I think that's, one of the reasons why we all have decided to partner with this company is because we want to make an impact. We want to leave a legacy. And we often think about that legacy being left to our customers and the people that we're going to help with our health. But don't underestimate just the impact that you're going to have on the people, even outside of Juice Plus, whether it be team or customers, because the personal growth and just the community and the love and what you experience within this team and this business is going to transfer to other areas of your life as well. And this is just a picture I'm getting back of her impact and influence within this community. And I know that had a far reaching outside of all of this too, that, her neighbors, her friends, her family, her connections outside of us would have the same stories to tell about Mallory. And I think she would want us to know that, the last 6 years of her life that she has been with us, her health has, just been a very different picture than what she had lived a lot, before that. And quality of life means a lot, right? Like having the energy to be with your family and the vitality to really enjoy life, to travel. And she definitely was a lover of life in that way. And I will remember the first time we met, we were on our way to conference. And that was a really big thing to Mallory, is to be together. She wanted to meet and connect, and she loved conference. And we met in the airport, and we were getting on the same plane. And I had flown to Dallas and she was in Dallas, and then we were flying to California. And I think she grilled me the whole way to California with 1,001 questions about everything. And my head was already spinning before we even got there. And we got to stay in a room together, and it was an intense weekend. And there was another conference that we went with, and her team member, Becky, was with us, and Jamin and myself and Mallory, we all stayed in a room. And I've never laughed that hard before. Like that, how you laugh till you're like, your stomach hurts and you're like, I can't laugh anymore. You guys have got to stop talking. It was really one of the most relaxed times I've ever seen Mallory. And Becky definitely, just helped her really step into the fun side of Mallory that I knew was underneath all of that intensity that sometimes she exuded, but just very lighthearted and fun. So I have fond memories. A lot of times it is of conference and our Juice Plus events that we went to, but for those of you that didn't know Mallory, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you missed her, because she was great, but I know she's impacted a lot of us that will continue to just, take what we learned from her and impact other people. So thank you, Sharon, for giving us a couple minutes to remember her today.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was beautiful. She, I can't believe she has only been on the team for 6 years, because especially when somebody lives far away from us on the team, it's hard to get to know them. But I feel like I've known Mallory forever. And like Michelle said, she's such a light. That's a perfect description. She's a person of faith. She was just so nice and kind and smiling. And I remember when she got sick, I mean, the only time in my life I wore red lipstick or any lipstick was for Mallory on a Zoom call. I think we did it, or we posted pictures or something like that. But because her signature thing was like bright red lipstick. But the thing that we all, whether you knew her or not, the thing that it's so important and it impacted me, well, that was like the girls are saying, you know, that she, when she first started off, she was very direct, and you know, that creates a struggle. So she was just like a person that was very direct and kind of intense. So, you know, it affects how you would do the business. But as she is somebody who probably epitomizes personal growth to me, and the effect that personal growth can have on you. I mean, she was always awesome, but she even like blossomed more within the Juice Plus community in all parts of her life, because she learned and she grew. So she was a seeker of knowledge, not just knowledge about, you know, learning the report or the research so she could like be even more direct with people. She was somebody who learned and that heard when mentors were talking to her. Maybe not always the very first time, but the growth that I saw and the impact that people like Stacy and Sharon had, and this whole community had on her, was pretty awesome. So I know there's a lot of people on here that haven't been in this community for a super long time, but I'll tell you what, it is it's life changing to be around all of you. All of you guys impact us. You impact me. You inspire me to get better. And it was just really cool to see Mallory grow. And oh, she was just so great. I love that what you said, Stacy. That I'm sorry some of you didn't get to know her, because she was super. And when we have a conference, man, always go to conference. I didn't go to one conference after I started really doing this business, and man, I regretted it. It seemed like a logical decision. I think we were getting our windows installed. I was like, oh, I'll stay home. We'll save some money. I'll not go to, man, conferences, you know, just the relationships that we build, even on Zoom, are deep and awesome. But when you get to know people at conference, I mean, there's lifelong friends on here that literally we only see them at conference, but they're great friends to me, and I know a lot of you feel the same. So awesome.
If it weren't for a conference, I would not have known Mallory. I would not have even met her. So your point is so well taken.
Anybody else want to speak up about Mallory and try to?
I just like to chime in here for a second.
I'd love you to.
It's really just now hitting me today. You know, I'm here, and a lot of you I don't know. I'm Beth Pearson, and I'm an adopted team member of you, and that's because of sweet Mallory. Mallory and I have known each other since 2008. When she was one of the first people I met when I moved to Dallas, and we kind of lost touch for a little bit. We reconnected a few years ago, and then found out that I had been taking Juice Plus for 15 years and didn't really do the business before a couple years ago. And I realized she was doing Juice Plus, and I was like, wow. And so I reached out, and we just, of course, reconnected on so many more levels than we had originally. And, you know, Mallory and I were really, we taught each other a lot. You know I gave her a lot, and she gave me a lot. And, you know, I won't ever forget the trip we did. We drove out to Ruidoso for the conference out there, that boot camp, and we had a lot of fun on the drive out. And of course, you know, we'd stop in Starbucks, and we're like, who said something to, you know, she'd say something to one person and I'd be saying something to the other person about Juice Plus. We're just always, wherever we go, we would do that. And you know, she loved this community, she loved this product, and she believed in it so much. And I know that the friends she made on this team were so important to her. And, you know, because of that, she I got to benefit from that. So I'm hugely grateful to her for that. And I'm hugely grateful to this team for just, hugging me along the way. And this has been, it's hard. Her daughter's birthday is Saturday. So just keep her in special thoughts this weekend. It's going to be a tough one for her. Mallory, there's no words to describe how much I'm going to miss her, and just knowing that, she's not a phone call away anymore. But, the great news is that I know from losing my mom several years ago is she's always with me in my heart, and she's always with me. You can talk to her anytime, and she's always there. I don't know. I don't really have an end to my conversation, but I'm just really, really grateful for you all. And I wanted to pop on here because I heard that, Sharon, that you were doing this today, and it really made me grateful.
We want you to come on anytime, Beth.
Thank you. Thank you.
So notice Mallory took Beth in, that was another thing as a sideline person. We give and we don't look for results. That's part of our business. We love on people and serve people, and that's what Mallory did. And she was an inspiration. Does anybody else want to add about Mallory? I know some of you have been highly affected by it.
Hey, Sharon.
Go ahead.
I've been working in the yard, but I wanted to just add a few things in. It's ironic. This morning I thought, man, I miss her. The group, all of the statements that were said about her are so true. I only got to be with her a couple of times, but I had a private Voxer message with her. So I went back, I thought I need to hear her voice. So I went back and I listened to a couple of messages and the correspondence with her, and she would always say things like, precious, hey, precious. And, her demeanor was just one of the most beautiful Christian lady that you could know. And it really touched my heart this morning. And then when you said you were going to talk about her, I thought, oh my gosh. But the words in that Voxer group, I just have to thank you, Beth and Becky, for putting that together. What a beautiful tribute to Mallory, and all the, everything people said is just so true. She was such a light in our lives, and just to get to know her, she just always wanted to have information, and that is so true, because one of the Voxer messages was, can you give me anything on pregnancy? And can you give me, and I'm going, oh my gosh. And she was just one that reminded me also of my friend Audrey McKinnon that died about 2 years ago, a very much go-getter. And I just always had hope for Audrey to make it. I just knew that Mallory was going to make it, and it just crushed my spirit to see that she did not, because she's just beautiful. It's just hard to understand. And I sent those pictures of her and her daughter together to my daughter, because my daughter checks in on me every day. As you get older, they think, don't let anything happen. But that was just beautiful seeing them together. And I just wanted to say that too, because it is an emotional time to lose somebody, and to love all of you guys and to get to know you. And I'm just really missing conferences, because that's where we really start to bond and connect. So that's what I have to say today. It's an emotional time.
Thanks, Gloria. Anybody else? Well, I think it's good for us to make sure that her team is taken care of, her family's taken care of. We can always send, cards and things like that to her family. So, and pray for her family, of course, too. But I feel like they have a really tight bond, and they're gonna, because she was in hospice for a while. So I was telling Stacy, I don't know how she's getting customers right now. She was in hospice, and there were customers. I'm like, what's going on? But oh, Doug's screen sharing. Oh, good, thank you. But they I think they have a great family bond and they're going to be okay. They know she's in a great place. They were able to spend a lot of time with her. And I hope you guys don't mind that we took this time to just recognize how great Mallory was and that we all want to have that legacy, you know? Mhm.
Sharon, I really appreciate that you just shared with us her commitment, even in hospice, because there's no judgment. People don't know why it's the time for us to leave. You know, we just don't know. She probably has accomplished, obviously had accomplished everything that we have not yet accomplished. So it was her time. And for her to be that confident in knowing what she was doing was correct for the sake of other people, even in hospice, she's sharing Juice Plus. What more can we say? That was just so powerful. So thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mallory.
Incredible. I was just looking at her reports. She had 11, I think she had 11 customers last month. And 3 this month or something. So it's pretty wild. I mean, she's just amazing.
Yeah. So her legacy lives on. All right, guys. And if you guys ever want to get together, you know, separately and, you know, just talk, we're there for you. There's a lot of loss happening right now. And, you know, it's good for us to be together. Thank you for a lot.
Can I say one more thing is
Yes.
knowing that she had all those customers in this last 6 weeks or so that Doug was referring to, there's no freaking excuses for anybody. I mean, seriously, I have no reason. There's no excuses.
Oh,
This life is way too freaking short. She was taking her Juice Plus till the end. Honestly, there's no reason to, like, I cannot, there's nothing that means that I can't do it. So
One of the things Mallory always said was, that is fracking awesome. So fracking became like, you know, when you're talking to Mallory, everything was fracking cool or fracking amazing or I think we got that at conference one time and it just kind of stuck. But yeah, it is true.
so really it's like no fracking excuses.
Yeah, no fracking.
All right, I will. Oh,
I know you will.
well,
Do you want
Hi,
well,
Joel.
I know I'm sorry, my kids are being crazy. I want to say something, but I'm afraid they're gonna like
fine.
destroy the moment. But I didn't know Mallory that well, but it was because I love so much that you said there's so many lessons to be learned from somebody's life. And one is conference is huge because you get to know people because of conference. If it wasn't for conference, I would have never met Mallory. But 2, she made you feel so special when you talk to her. I'm kind of like always looking around. I'm like kind of a busybody. But when you sit down with Mallory to talk to her, she's not looking around. She's fully engaged. She's fully present. And it makes you feel like you want to be that way too. And so I always felt fully engaged with her. Plus maybe the red lipstick, it was hard to not look at her. But she made me feel so special when I would talk to her. And 3, she was very thorough. I remember I was looking back at my Voxer messages and I did a training. I think it was my training on planning. And I think she did this twice. I did 2 trainings and she boxed me like she needed to know more details. Like, but what about this? Well, how do you do this? And I remember like going back and forth with her and I thought, you know, I don't think I would have thought of this, you know, while she was here, but thinking about it while she's gone is like, what another great lesson to just be fully engaged. You know, she didn't care. I wasn't her upline or her downline. I was a sideline buddy, and she was going to engage with me because she wanted to be all in, if that's what she decided to go after. And so I just thought, man, what a great thing you're doing today, because there's so many lessons in her life that I think, I know I want to be more like Mallory, because I definitely don't possess a lot of those qualities, but she was a beautiful soul and definitely will be missed when we get together at our next conference.
That was really good.
Mallory had a way of pushing you, but in the most gentle way imaginable. And it was crazy. I've known her just for the last few years. And just like Jules said, when she's talking with you, you're like best friends. She looks right through you. And she had a way of challenging me because we were all kind of at the same level, like her and myself and Jamin, and we were all kind of going for some different levels. And she just had a way of challenging us, but without ever making you feel bad, like if you didn't achieve a certain goal or anything like that. But she had this beautiful inner light, and it just shone in her bright red lipstick. And she's just the most special person. And I'm not surprised at all that she got that many customers while in hospice. Like, that's not surprising at all. So Mallory will be greatly missed.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing. I think she really did make it personal with whoever she was talking to and with whatever she wanted to know. She went after it. And, she didn't accept no for an answer, really. So all these things made her a great leader, a great inspiration, and are things that we can learn from her. Okay, anybody else? No, it's a lot. Okay, I'm looking at, there's an NMD meeting going on at the same time. So anybody else want to speak anything about Mallory? I'll update you on what I see. I asked Julie to give us a heads up on any updates from the company. Okay. All right, well, we will keep Mallory in our prayers, and maybe on other lunch and learns we can always put in the chat something you remember or thought about Mallory, a lesson that we've thought about, anything like that. Mallory's legacy will live on, with us, with her family, with customers, with her team. Okay, let's see what Julie's saying. October, the rest of the JP World goes live with the site. So globally, we'll all be on the same page. Let's go to Office. We're adding more phone and tech support for the launch. Field questions smoothly. Oh, there were two more. There's another thing. The new jp.com will go live for us in mid-September. Okay. It's been tested in Ireland. Mexico will be next. I think they're trying to do it on little countries first to make sure that it goes well. 6 tutorial videos will teach the dashboard and overall experience of the website. We'll be able to click with very engaging graphics, how to log on, look at the scene, whatever. 12 how-to videos. Okay. Customers should enjoy the ease of ordering and managing their orders. They want this to be smooth, so they're working hard to make this launch smooth. They may have after-hours help. They've learned a lot in Ireland, and they needed more resources to answer questions. So they're not yet releasing the office yet. So that was happening there. Okay, so yeah, that was a beautiful tribute to Mallory. Okay, so it's hard to switch gears, I tried, I don't think it worked. but let's see what else you guys want to talk about. I know we have some celebrations also on here. And although it hasn't quite come through, I do want to say that Kristen Winters should be a sales coordinator by the end of this month for sure. So congratulations to Kristen. And yeah, she deserves it. She has been going strong. It's just things didn't all line up. She's been a sales coordinator from the beginning. Like, she's somebody we listen to and learn from. Kristen, do you want to say anything? I know it's hard after we just talked about Mallory and everything, but you know, everybody on our team means a lot, and we appreciate you also, and all that you contribute. So I would love to hear, you know, what did you learn from, I think you've moved from hobby to taking it more seriously. Correct me if I'm wrong, but let's hear from Kristen.
Yes, thanks, Sharon. I really have had such a great, really fortunate to have such a great team that have supported me throughout this whole experience. And I've just, you know, I really feel that it's I just enjoy helping people. And it's just, you know, I think I've explained a couple of other times that it just has kind of been a journey of introducing, educating, listening, and just following up with people. And it kind of all fell into place. And the past couple months have been an opportunity, I think, for a lot of people in the business. But I have found that just it kind of all sort of clicked at one time. So I just appreciate everyone's support. And I also think that it just happened to be at the right time in my life that this opportunity has been presented to me. So, you know, I have more time to work on the business and invest in educating myself as well. So thank you to all of you.
Yeah, congratulations. And I think that you've really moved outside of your comfort zone a little bit. I remember Kristen, maybe you don't want me to say this, but she's like, if I'm an NMD, do I need to have Monday night calls? Oh my gosh, so I think she was scared to move forward in leadership, and that's a real good fear, you know? She's just trying to make sure, you know, can I do this the way I want to do it? Of course you can. So we're not having, I mean, it wasn't because of you, but Monday night calls stressed me out too, actually. And so the lunch and learn just fits us and are more casual. We want to hear from you. We don't want to be PowerPointing and training all the time. We want you guys to lift each other up and share with each other. So this totally met our needs more. And everyone should feel like they can have their own thing. You know, there is a system. We share, you know, we share our excitement, we share a video or an event, and then we follow up. However you do that, you know, it's good. And then we train people to do the same. So, you know, it doesn't have to be a Monday night training. And it could be done all kinds of ways. So kudos to you for resolving whatever that was, because then she moved forward after that. It's not because of that. She got some incredible team members under her, Shannon, Nicole, Alexis. Now you got a new one up in Ohio that's already like put in so many orders. She's already Partner Plus. Tell us about that? How did you introduce the business to this person?
So Becky is my neighbor's daughter, and she was on Juice Plus for a while, and she just wanted a solution. She was looking for a job at the time. It's kind of funny how this happened, but she actually ended up joining Juice Plus as a partner, and she got another job as a school teacher on the same day. But she made it to Partner Plus in one day. And she just is a true believer, and she's going to have an amazing story because her family has been greatly helped by the Juice Plus product. And I wish she would have had time to be on the call today. I've encouraged her to do that, but she is starting her new job, and unfortunately lunches are hard for her. But I'm excited to get her more involved in the company. I think she'll be fantastic. So,
and there are 2 great events for her this week. Michelle's team Thursday night, right, Michelle? I'm pointing over here because her square's over here, just in case you guys wonder, why am I looking down? Why am I pointing over there? It's the squares. So Thursday night, and then the back to school one from Debbie Walton, is that tonight or tomorrow night? I think it's tomorrow night.
I think it's Wednesday.
Tonight? Okay. So if you guys want to know where those flyers are, they're in the top of the announcements in Team Transformers. We try to send them through Voxer also, you know, but if you want it like kind of organized, it's in the announcements. And I try to now post a new one instead of editing. So you guys see Sharon posted, and I should post it Friday or Saturday. And then Sunday comes and I'm like, dang it, I still didn't post those things, because I'm trying to gather from everybody so that you guys can have all the opportunities. So sometimes I'm super late in that. But 2 opportunities for that teacher or any teachers this week, Wednesday, Thursday. So Doug, do you have some things to add? I know we were talking about a couple of things that we were talking about.
Yeah, did you have a specific topic you were asking me to add on, or just in general?
Well, you could talk in general, then I'll get to the specific thing.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to remind everybody, I figure if you guys are coming on these lunch and learns, you're pretty engaged in the business. I'm going to encourage you guys to think about joining the action game. I know some of you have already registered that are on here. Let me explain what the action game is, because you guys are already people of action. The action game is just a way for us to have some accountability, and I guess we could call it fun. I don't know if it's fun. It is fun. It's like we're working with people. This feels pretty isolating sometimes. But on the action game, you know, we have a separate Facebook group, and basically you get formed into teams, and there's different tasks that you do, the basic DMO stuff, talking to people, inviting to events, hosting an event, you know, all the different things that you would do in Juice Plus. You get points for it, and you keep your points, and then you turn in those points. You already know we have blitzes, but when you're in the action game, there'll be even more blitzes, because I'll be doing my regular blitzes, but then like Michelle might add another one on Thursday at 4 o'clock, and Jules might have one Saturday morning, and there's different times where you can blitz and work together with people. It's $20 to get in. That's mostly, I mean, we have cash prizes, so that's fun. There's individual cash prizes, and then the teams, first and second place, get a cash prize. So it's super fun. It's in Team Transformers. If anybody's not in that group that's in on another team, just let me know. I can put you into the Facebook group for the action game. And then there's the instructions of how to Venmo me money. And then there's also, anybody that joined, there's another form. I want you to just do the little survey. That'll give me your, just some important information I want to know. T-shirt size, and also like when you would prefer our action game call to be. So yeah, I am gonna, because I know we cranked, man. We had some great months cranking. So let me get a promo from somebody. Maybe Michelle, I saw you posted. I know Nalani's super pumped about it too. Let's hear it.
Hey, I love the action game. I originally played the action game probably like 8 or 9 years ago, back when it was like Sharon's team, Julie's, downline NMDs, and I loved it. I thought it was so fun. I would get to meet sidelines that I would probably not have met other than at conference, and knowing that we were on a team together, that accountability, you don't want to let your team down. And at the same time, the beauty of the action game is that you're actually doing the DMO, all those activities that really build your business, the really important activities, and you're building, like, your business grows. I know from us starting the action game earlier this year, my business has grown so much. And I attribute some of that to the fact that, man, I was head down for 4 weeks. We played the game for 4 weeks as a team. And it's just, even if you don't win as a team, you're still winning because you're going to see, you know, if you're really actively engaged with the action game, you're going to see a difference in your business. So I love that. My team never won this year, but let me tell you, I used to win first place back in the day when I was playing with Julie's team and Sharon's team. So it's so much fun either way. And then you get to make some like lifelong friends from those people on your team. They're now like your other family too. So it's great. I love it. It gives me a kick in the butt when I need it.
I'd like to piggyback on Michelle, what you said about everybody winning, because truly, I mean, if you look back at the numbers on the different teams who participated, it's amazing. It's amazing. So we win in so many ways. We may not win the cash prize, and then again, you may win. However, you do win in the DMO, because a lot of us, even those of us who are so-called seasoned in the business, and we think we're working the business properly, you find out the real deal. You find out if you're really working your DMO in the most effective way. And so that's another way you win. And then of course, there's always the part of the personal growth. And that's so much a big part of the business. So we may as well do it for ourselves individually and do it together collectively and grow together. So I encourage everybody to take a shot at it. Do the game and you'll see the difference. Whatever you do today, we get paid for the following couple of months.
Yeah, I didn't win any cash prizes or anything in the game, but I know that, I mean, I had like 3 Tower Garden sales plus other Juice Plus sales. My check went up like $800 or $900 during the months of the action game, just from the extra PVC coming in. So it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Speaking of paychecks, I want to mention, especially to the new people, because sometimes I look through the paychecks and I'm like, dang, I wish that your paychecks were higher, you know? But just know we all who are in leadership started where you started. This business is a business of persistence and consistency and building. So your paycheck could be discouraging right now, but you're building into yourself and you're building into a business and you're building a network. So over time, as you continue to build, it becomes a bigger thing. And you're able to tap into more than just retail or sales profit. Because at first, when you're a partner, you're only getting sales profit. There's so many ways to make income, but it's all like as you go up the compensation plan. So you've got to get to a commission level. That's the second way. Sales profit, commission. The next way is to qualify your business. Then you make an extra 3% on the dollar on everything your team does, okay? And 5 generations of qualifiers down. That becomes the very biggest part of your paycheck. So if you're only tapping into the first 2, you're not really tapping into all that is offered in this compensation plan. So you don't want to get discouraged, okay? I heard a couple scenarios at different trainings. One was when some sky rises are built, you don't see what went in the very first couple of years where they're planning, they're pulling permits, they're doing architecture and all this stuff on the foundation, and then it starts building, and then it might build really quick. You know, you might only see that, but there's a lot that goes into the foundation. So you guys are building a foundation. If you're not happy with your paycheck, then you're building a foundation. Tell that to yourself, and also be positive to yourself. You know, have positive beliefs, positive attitude. I'm, I don't know, make up some affirmations. I can't think of any right now. And I've heard them like all day. I listened to the Upline, what's it called? Upline, whatever.
Virtual Upline.
Virtual Upline this morning on podcast. This lady was stuck. She felt like she had this thing she was hiding. So she was actually being a little fake with people. And so she had to do some personal growth in order to be freed of that and be vulnerable. And he said, sometimes when you're in pain, that's when you're actually on the same page with people. So for her, she needed to share, you know, a little bit more vulnerability and courage and things like that. And that's her journey. But we've all got a journey, and also we need to talk to people, you know. But sometimes there's fears that are holding us back, things like that. Anyway, I don't want you to be discouraged if you feel like you worked really hard. There's also sometimes transitions. 1 month you might have had a lot of sales, you know, and this isn't really a sales business, but we do have sales profit. When you have a lot of customers, that bumps up your paycheck. But then you get paid sales profit all up front. It's not divided in fours. So then the second, third, and fourth month, if you don't have the same amount of sales, maybe down here, then you're going to be like, what the heck happened? You know, those people are still paying on their credit card, but our company generously sends you everything up front. So you have to kind of know these things. So if you want to talk to your sponsor, upline leader, if you are feeling like, man, I want to understand my paycheck, there's a couple things. Earnings summary is under personal file. Getting to know, just looking at your 12-month analysis and seeing like patterns, things like that. Looking at the compensation plan and realizing even the 3 things I mentioned are only 3 parts of the compensation plan. There's also title rewards, which we do know a little bit. You know, when you get to Partner Plus, you get $50, or if you do it in 10 days, you get $100. And then also QSC, if you get there within 30 days, you get $400, but if you get there in 60 days, you get $300. And then sales coordinator is $600. If you get there in 3 months, then you get $700. Those are called title rewards when you reach a title. So you might be familiar with those, and you might be familiar with sales profit, and you're probably working on getting to the 5, the 10, and the 15% commission. But there's even more to our compensation plan after that. You know, there's that performance bonus that you make on all the team if you're qualified and you have people under you who are at a commission level. So there's more, and then there's, you know, even more bonuses after that. Promote out bonus, BIB, which people who are now getting to QSSC, they're able to get business investment bonus because you have a team and they just give you money. They just give you money assuming that because you have a team, you're going to be spending extra money. So the company is worth it, worth your time, worth your effort, worth this community. I mean, we all have incredible best friends from being in this community. So make a decision. You know, I'm going to be in it to win it. I'm going to be all in like Mallory and just go for it. You know, don't hold back. Don't let your fears hold you back. Strengthen your beliefs, find out your answers, and go love on people. So I don't know.
Sharon, can I ask you one question?
Huh?
So I feel like, and I don't know if this is going to be, I appreciated all what you just said, because that's actually really helpful. And I'm going to go listen to that podcast because I like him a lot. But I did want to ask you, I feel like I'm stuck a little bit myself. And I want to know what your best advice would be as far as how to add team, because I think that's where a lot of people, including myself, struggle.
Yeah, we all need to get good at adding team. Me too. And we all need to get good at getting them to QSC, which is what I was going to talk about, our core rank. So we want to get them to that second commission level. That's the building block of everything. You know, that's the thing. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't just say it once either. Okay, so if you said to somebody, hey, I'd love for you to join my team, and expect a result, okay, so just like Mallory was like persistent and consistent, it takes that persistent and consistent attitude to go back to that person. I know you told me no, but I'm just wondering, you know, because I see that you're posting all these healthy things, and sometimes there's season changes, you know, in life, or sometimes it starts to make sense to them because it's a number of exposures. That's why you have to be patient with the process. You have to go back to the person, even though you might feel weird about it. And you don't want to be silly. You want to be loving about it. And you want to be like, you know, I know that we talked about it before and it wasn't the right timing. Here's a video, you know, and you keep sharing videos, you keep sharing the community. You invite them to our different things. We've got a kombucha event this week. We've got a complete ball event. So they see the community You can invite them to a lunch and learn. Who knows whether it'll scare them off or whether they'll feel comfortable. And sometimes they do. They're like, oh, I love this. So then they're in. You never know. So positive people who are open-minded, you're going to be able to share with them. And those are the people that are probably going to be more into being on the team. So you want to talk to the right people also. And you don't want to do it in a way in which you get discouraged. So you only share a little bit. If they, just like with Juice Plus, if they show that they are curious or want more, then you give them a resource, an event or a video or three-way call, and then you follow up. Hey, what'd you think? That's how our system is. The excitement, the why do I pick you, the event or the video or the three-way call, and then following up and going from there. But I'm sure there's other people that might have some advice. So we have about 6 minutes if somebody else has some good advice that I didn't say.
Well, I'm going to encourage everybody to check out that podcast. I just put the name of it in there. It's called Your Virtual Upline. I forget what episode we listened to the other night, Sharon, because we were scrolling through because I hadn't heard it in a while. But he was talking about a subject that we talk about all the time, and that is, if you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you like a business. It's going to build like a business. But if you treat it like a hobby, then it's going to be kind of it's not going to really become a big thing. So I think a lot of people have difficulty like being honest about, how they're really working it. Or sometimes they expect this full-time income when, I don't know, I mean, it's been 5 years since I had a full-time job, and going to the office, but I was up at 7, out the door by like 7:30. Okay, so you're up every single day, 7. You're out the door driving for 30 or 40 minutes to the job. Then you're at the job and all you do until like 4 or 5 o'clock, except for a little lunch break, is work. And then you drive home. So it's like, think about it. I mean, that's a full-time job and that's full-time pay. I know some people want, you want the fruits of like, yeah, but in network marketing, it's time freedom and it's unlimited potential and all this stuff. But this is a real business. It's a real job. So I think it's really important to have a business mindset. And we don't always talk about business mindsets, but what happens in a business meeting? If you need to get more team, then you need to sit down. You need to like figure out, what do I need to do? I need to get more team. What is the objective of Beth Pearson Incorporated this month, of Doug Farrar Incorporated? Our strategic plan is to grow our distributor base by 10%. How are we going to do that? Are we going to do it by just doing little fluffy posts on Facebook and saying, oh, look, here's my answer for fruits and vegetables? It ain't going to happen. Okay, I hate to be super direct for everybody, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so you're going to have to step into doing something different and invite people into your business. The same way we're inviting people into being customers, we're going to have to invite people into the business. A lot of times people are either afraid of one or afraid of the other. I'm more comfortable inviting into the business. It's probably because I could be better in my health journey. And that's why my strategic plan right now, not only to live longer and be there for my family, but also for my business. I mean, I hired a coach. I'm spending an arm and leg on a health coach to tell me what to eat and tell me what to do. And if I don't fill out this log right here, every single meal, can't even see it, it's right here in my hand, then she's going to be all over me. She texts me, how's the log going? Did you drink enough water today? Oh my gosh, I have a trainer. So think about it, guys. Think about it as a business and treat it like a business. Respect your business and it'll work. It will work. And Jules' response is to listen to some booty music. And that's how she gets pumped up and ready to go. That's some good tips that are going on in there. Anybody have anything else to close out and just thinking like a business person, like a boss bro from Garrett or a boss babe out there, anything, just feeling like you're a professional.
I always
think
I'm sorry,
ahead.
Nalani.
No,
I
go.
always think in the mindset of, what if I had an actual, like, real storefront? Wouldn't I be telling everyone to come and visit my storefront and letting everyone know about it? Like, I always go back to that because people invest a lot of money in franchises and hundreds of thousands of dollars to have these businesses. And I think sometimes we can take it for granted how little we pay to be a part of this business, but we don't fully realize how much we can gain from being a part of this business. So just always saying, what would I do if I was a real business owner and my rent was due and I had to pay the lights? So that's how I think in working my business.
Powerful, powerful, and so true. Oh, wow. That just took my head to another space. But anyway, I just wanted to share, that when we get discouraged, a lot of the time we're by ourselves. So we've cordoned ourselves off and we think we're alone. And remember, it's teamwork that makes the dream work. So if you are not involved in activity with your team, then you're feeling alone. And so the teamwork is not working. So I think that's one of the things we get to remember. And that's why these lunch and learns are so powerful, because it brings us back to the team. It brings us back to the campfire, as Doug would say. And that's also very important, because as we go out on our own and do these things, we get sorry for the truck going by. We could also get some tweaks as to what we did and how it could be done better. That's it.
Yes. All right. Well, as always, I mean, every lunch and learn is great. It was beautiful remembering and celebrating Mallory's life and how she's impacted us. And, that's going to be on our minds. And, prayers go out to her family, just moving on and finding joy in this time. I know it's got to be hard for them. And then too, I'm really thankful that Beth was here to ask some great questions and celebrate Mallory with us. But sorry, we were listening to a training last night from Michelle Ball about the different color personalities.
Yeah.
And I can be kind of direct, so I love it. Like when I'm going direct and saying like, you got to treat it like a business. That like in the chat, Jules is like, I like to listen to booty music. And that pipes me up. And she's saying the same thing. She's getting serious in her own way. So let's take it serious. And let's always remember that, as Brendan Burchard would say, that our actions have to be congruent with our goals and our values. So if your goal and your values are to grow this into, the Comma Club or to, $50,000 a year or whatever you want to get it to, or 100,000 or whatever you want to do, your actions have to be congruent with that. Okay. So, and there are people that make a lot of money in Juice Plus, but they work really hard and they've been doing it for a long time and they're not shy about sharing the business and all that. So it just, just make sure your actions are congruent. And if you need coaching, keep talking to the upline and your buddies in the business, like Nolani was saying. Anything else, Sharon?
Yeah, so I had a question about how do you find the Virtual Upline podcast? So on an iPhone, see the little purple thing? I always just start typing P and the podcast comes up. And so then on there, you can start naming topics, like if you want to learn about parenting, if you want, I don't know. But for me, I've got a lot of business things on here.
You can also go to yourvirtualupline.com. And right there, he's probably going to, you can listen online, but he'll also like tell you which platforms, how to get it, all that stuff.
And here's what he looks like on podcasts. So as I'm driving or playing racquetball by myself, I might listen to something like that.
He has a sign up. He has classes too. He's got to make a living, right?
We heard
so he has overcoming fear master classes, all kinds of weekly coaching people can pay for. So
Harry was saying that It was great. Oh, Beth, you
Oh,
take.
cool. Beth, you took the class, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did one. It was a free one. It was a maybe 4 weeks or something, 4 or 6 weeks last year. And it really got me out of my comfort zone. Of course, then I tried to get into one. I did one of his classes and I ended up getting behind the 8 ball. And so I left it. But, the beauty of these kind of classes is you can jump in anytime. And he spoke to me. He resonated with me. So I think you
Cool.
just have to find that person. Yeah.
That's great. Well, Beth, you are awesome. And
Thank you.
reach out if you want a link, if you wanted to play our action game, you and some
I'm
buddies.
thinking of doing that.
Yeah, let
I'm
us
gonna do
know.
that.
Let us know. You're welcome to play.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well,
Thank you.
until
Thanks
we
for all
meet
the
again,
wonderful words for Mallory too. That was beautiful.
the name again, Christine, it's Your Virtual Upline podcast. Yeah, it's good, Michelle. It's a little more, it's not as like in your face as like a Ray Higdon. He's good. He's kind of like a virtual upline. Like you don't know if you would want Ray Higdon to be your upline, right?
He sounds authentic.
Yeah.
That's why I like him.
He
And
seems
it's
to be
the topics really hit more on what we really deal with than Ray sometimes, because Ray's more cold market seeming. He seems more right on. Eric Worre is a podcast too. It used to be really long episodes, but I think they've trimmed it down. Always learning.
All right, guys.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks,
Okay.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And I'm always
You.
afraid to
Bye.
stop it because I don't know who's the host is. I don't want to cancel
I
it.
am. Bye, guys.